Hey, everybody! Hi, welcome. Hello, it's me. Oh my god, I've got all my crap on my camera. Hang on. Wait. Check this out. There's always something, isn't there? Boop, 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 boop. Hi. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome along. Hi, I'm so excited. Whoa, camera menu says Lemony Nose. Yeah, peeking behind the curtain says Tony B. That's right, folks. I use a Sony camera. You probably identified it from the menus. It's not something that I like to brag about, but I genuinely thought that was a vibe, says John Spook. Amazing. Hello, everyone. Wow, it's so lovely to see so many of you here piling into the chat. Hey, gang. For a launch party for my new album, which is called Songs to Make Songs To, and it's out today. It's out now on Spotify and iTunes and other ones that are available. You know, it's on all the main ones. Tidal, Deezer. Insert your own D's nuts gag, if you will. And Bandcamp, if you want to download it, go to my Bandcamp, which is in the description of the video. You can get the webs, you can get them there, and then you can have them to keep. Okay, Hinton says, oh, thank God it's on Deezer. I know. Danny McNamara says LimeWire. I wish it was on LimeWire. Then maybe I'd be like one of those cool, naughty sleeper hits that everyone's kind of big into because it was huge on piracy or whatever. Okay. So, what we're going to do is, we're going to play every song on the album. I'm going to play them all in order. I'm going to play a song, and then we can talk about it, or we can talk about something else. Turbinator UK says, what about Napster? I think it's actually on Napster. It's possible I'm on Napster. I don't know. It's hard to tell with all of the Dragon Ball WMVs on there. Set to Linkin Park. Yeah, we'll play we'll play the songs. We'll talk about it, and yeah, and we'll do some other stupid stuff as well. For example, I have a large bowl of pastel-coloured mini eggs. What do you think I'm going to do with them? If you guessed, eat them while I'm playing the songs, and you can't hear me. You guessed right. What else? Oh, I've got a vodka orange juice, but I almost nearly finished it, and I've got a beer lined up as well. Okay, I'm genuinely so grateful for everyone who's listened to the album so far. Some of these songs are going to be familiar if you've been keeping up with the singles and B-sides, but there's loads of new stuff on here. I think probably we should start by playing a song. I've got a notepad. I was thinking, oh yeah, my note. I was thinking we could do Pictionary. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna play a song, the first song on the album. Please enjoy it. Talk amongst yourselves. Headphones on, gang. And when I come back, we can talk about it. If you have any questions, put them in the chat, and I will answer as many as I can. And that's pretty much it. That's the format. Is it a good format? Here's Owls!
When the weight of the world is pushing down on you, and it feels like you're
Bam! That was first song. Nicky Anzalone says Luke out here using big adult swears on his new album. That's right. I've got a new bad attitude. I don't care who hears my bad language. Alex Edwards says, does this begin with the same melody as A Song for the Great Serpent from Perilous Times? That's a great question. Okay, so if you've listened to the Jump Scare Snake song off my Sekiro album, it has it's got like an almost identical bass line to this song, and a lot of what I learned making that song I took into this one, but both sort of came from the same kind of place, which was that I wanted to make a kind of sort of monster mashy kind of Halloween Munsters-y sort of thing. And there's a couple of ways you can go with that. You can do it like I did on the Sekiro album with like sort of surf guitars, like ding 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 ding, kind of rockabilly style, or what I did here, which is try and go like sort of big 80s. Penguin Gone Mad says I was singing gender roles and stocks for days before getting corrected. That is probably a better lyric. Owls don't care about gender roles and stocks. It's Jeff Rosenstock. It's Owls don't care about Jeff Rosenstock. Jeff Rosenstock is name checked on that song because I had Jeff Rosenstock's album Hell Mode, which is excellent, on my mind a lot because I think it's such a good album, and I started listening to it around the time when I was starting like to sort of spin up to try and like making another album myself, and I listened to that album and it's like, why bother? Why do I bother? Someone else is doing it all like better. Someone else is doing everything I want to do. Someone's doing it better. So that's where that came from. To be honest, that's kind of where this whole album kind of comes from as a vibe. But no, totally listen to Jeff Rosenstock. Mel says, how many of the songs on this album are autobiographical? That's a great question. And how long did this album take to make from start to now? They're all autobiographical, except there's one that's instrumental, which is coming up. I can't really say that's autobiographical because it's just noise. But all the others, all the others are pretty autobiographical, I think. And how long did it? How long did it take? I made Sertraline first, and then there was a big gap between that and everything else, and then I started working on other things in earnest in like August last year. So there you go. Let's see. What was your favourite lyric to record? There's one on the song which we'll hear in a bit, which is I try to be good and I try to be services. The line I try to be good and I try to be services made me laugh so much since I thought of it that that's the opening line of that just makes me laugh because I'm an idiot. Monster Snow says, did you record the lyrics at home or rent a studio? I did it all, literally everything, like here in this chair where you're seeing now. This little MIDI keyboard was the only keyboard. That guitar behind me in the corner was the only guitar. And there's some ukulele on one of them. Everything else is, like computer stuff, computer jazz. Okay, folks. I'm gonna do that. Thank you all for those questions, by the way. That is very kind. Exochris says, what are the dimensions of that room, by the way? That's a good question. I would say, from where I am, from the desk, you're probably looking at like 2 meters back, and it doesn't extend too far past what you can see there. Are gaming chairs good for guitar playing? Says Sir Trilline. No. Next question. Gary says the most important question is, did you enjoy your mini eggs during the song? Yes, I did. Sparrow says, what guitar did you use on the album? I suck at guitar. I do suck at guitar, but I also suck at guitars like makes and models and stuff. But it's a Gretsch, Gretsch, Gretsch Electromatic. I like it because it's got a super low action. It feels slippery to play. and I love it. An Army of Mantis Men says, what came first for Owls, the music synthy stuff or the lyrics and whatnot? Well, that's a good question. I definitely had like a kind of demo. Do you know what? It was actually, I smushed two things together. I had the thing, like I had that in my voice notes app as a sort of fun melody, and then I had as a separate voice note, and I just kind of made them fit in the same key, and then, you know, just banged in any old chords for the verse, and then we were good to go. Can we hear the voice notes, as Thunder B247? Too mortifying. No, I can't. Maybe one day I'll put them on my SoundCloud or something. Cantazans, how much do you pay attention to academic music theory when composing as opposed to just going with the vibe? When I'm writing songs, like for this, for you know, like Luke Westaway songs that are released under my name, it's just pure vibes. I don't know. Yeah, I don't pay attention to music theory at all. I hum a melody line that I sort of make up as I'm wandering around, and then I figure out good chords to put under it. I don't really overthink it or anything. When I'm trying to make music elsewhere, I pay a lot of attention to music theory because I need to know how to operate in like trope and genre. So, for example, I made some Lies of P like organ fugue music, and then I had to look up all the music theory behind like a fugue, what makes a fugue sound like a fugue, you know, stuff like that. Ryan Yard, did you think you'd be sharing an album so quickly after chasing composing? That's I really like that question because it implies that it should have taken me longer, when actually my gut feeling is that this took too long. Yeah, yeah, making music takes absolutely ages. It takes so long. I mean, when I relaunched this channel to, you know, sort of pursue things solo to give myself more space for making music and writing tabletop stuff, I basically have become acutely aware that that the music and writing side of that stuff, it takes ages for anything to come to fruition. And so the whole time I'm like putting out videos on YouTube, and I'm just thinking like, people think this is all I'm doing. But you just, there's loads of stuff that, this stuff just takes ages. So no, I honestly thought I would get this album out last year, but that's completely unrealistic. Okay, thank you all for your questions. I want to do a Pictionary now, and then after that we'll do another song, which is a new song, which isn't one that I released. Cragnificent, how did you record the guitar? Just through a mic? No, it's direct input, so the guitar is plugged into my computer via some boxes, but it's essentially just like, the end point is I USB my guitar into my computer, and I use virtual amps in Pro Tools. I use the Amplitude 5 package. Nick Cowell says, what would Kermode and Mayo rate this album? Well, they don't really give star ratings, but they I think they'd give it probably 5 Mayos out of a possible 5. Sick. Chris Priest has played Owls at a Music Night last night. Everyone loved it, and I think it was probably the world premiere of it live. Yeah, probably. Man. Okay, right. Yes. Let me. Okay, I'm on a website now which generates random movie titles. I'm gonna generate a movie for myself. Go. Okay. I just thought this would be really fun to try Pictionary, and I needed like, I needed a crowd here to endure it. Okay, here's my piece of paper. The first person in the chat who I see identifying this movie, I will try and call them out. I apologise in advance because the chat's moving quite fast if I call out the wrong person, but okay, here we go. It's a film. Yeah, this is already very good. Should be pretty obvious by now. Rango? No. Macross44 has got it! Amazing! Muppets Christmas Carol. That's it! This is Muppet Christmas Carol. Look, it's Kermit, but he's having a Christmas. You can tell from that. There we go. Well done, everyone. Well done. Oh, wow. A lot of people get some people saying Rango. It's obviously not Rango. Come on. Come on. Turgle Uncut, says Danny McNamara. An unpleasant thought. That's yes, everyone's saying that it's a good drawing and that I did a good job. Okay, right. Oh, I'm going to do another one. That was fun and it was quick. Oh, okay. This is a tricky one. Okay. This is another movie and then we'll do another song. Okay, here we go. Who will be the first to get it? Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Okay, and now I just watch. Who will be the first? People saying Castaway. It's not Castaway. Look at it. Life of Pi. No way. Come on, it's obvious. Oh, someone's got it. Where was it? It scrolled down. Traveling Potato. It is, of course, the Truman Show. Because you see, there's Truman, and there's the eyes of the world upon him. This is fun. This is fun. I'm good at this. You're good at this. Everyone's absolutely operating on another level right now. Is that the sun? Says Renegade TL8. No, it was an eyeball. It was the eyeball looking at Truman. Yes, everyone in the chat is saying I see it now, and I was a fool for questioning. That's broadly the vibe. Okay, new song. This one's called "It's All Downhill From Here." I really like this song. I considered doing it as a single, but in the end, I didn't, and that's the end of the story. But I think it's kind of cool. I would describe it as a sort of excoriating self-own. Most of these songs are excoriating self-owns, but here we go. Right, enjoy, folks. This is it's all downhill from here. Take it away, me.
Behind us, because I know when we're beat.
drums are all fake. Is it still even something that's worth it to make? This is a chord. This is another. I try a third, but it's too much bother. Hooray! There we go. The end. Hope everyone enjoyed that, folks. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed listening to it back, and I loved seeing all of your comments and stuff. Oh gosh, how do I? Madison says, seems like a misstep to use all 2 chords on your second song. Where do you go now? The music's all used up. Every song after this is basically just those chords again. Yeah, I'm glad folks like that. Tony B says, can see why it's a candidate for a single. That's very kind. Yeah, I think it was like, I thought that it was a bit too thinky. You know, like a bit. It's a bit weird. It's a bit too weird. Also, the guitar riff, that thing is very very like 50s kind of twangy. It doesn't really fit with any of the other like sound. It's aesthetically a little bit out there compared to the rest of the songs. So I thought it wasn't really like a great representation sonically. I don't know. You can probably tell that I just overthought it. Lemony No says, love the bass line, very groovy, thank you. What did I... Yes, wow, thank you all for your lovely comments. Puddle Duck says, when did you first get into punk? Oh, Space Dante says, eggs eaten so far, I'll be honest. I haven't been counting, but I hope to finish this bowl by the time we're through. I'm going to try and finish this bowl. I'm like Cool Hand Luke, eating 50... There are probably 50 eggs in here. Can I eat all these eggs? You tell me? Well, the answer is yes. Eat them by handfuls. Yeah. Okay. Well, oh, man, what was the question? I forgot. Oh, punk. Yeah. Yeah. I love punk music. Even though, you know, I am old and middle class and boring. But yeah, I love it. I got into it when I got into like any music, which was around, you know, in the sort of early noughties. But it was a really, really good time to be getting into punk music because I was like the first band that I like loved. I had Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park, and I really, really liked it, and I thought that was so cool until All Killer No Filler by Sum 41 came out, and then I was like, I'm in love. This is it. This is my favorite kind of music. This is the only kind of music I ever want to hear ever again. And to be honest, like, when you're really into when like a genre really hooks you, it's really easy to, you know, I just read Kerrang and basically just worked backwards, and by working backwards I figured out that actually all the best punk music had already happened, you know, and in the way of these things it kind of was going in waves, but the mid-90s sort of West Coast punk movement is my absolute favourite. You know, NoFX and Rancid and stuff like that. And yeah, and I just didn't stop listening to it, really. I honestly, and you know, it's not cool now like it was then. I mean, I still think it's cool, but it's, you know, then it was like the Tony Hawk soundtracks, and it was like the OSTs for huge teen movies and stuff like that. So like punk and skate punk was really like mainstream, and I don't mean that as a criticism, I mean like it was cool and everyone agreed it was what cool music was. And it's not like that now. Punk is very much like a, you know, back in its corner at the moment, but there's some amazing stuff going on. You know, Marcus Cox says, any songs you want to cover? Yeah, there's a Weezer song called Long Time Sunshine, which is my go-to if I sit at a piano song. I play that. Covering songs is complicated though. You have to like do some like legal stuff to, but I don't know. It's not that difficult, but it is kind of complicated. I don't know. I can't be bothered. Right. Weezer mentioned, says Max. Evil Looking Doorstop, Sum 41, first band I ever saw live. That album definitely starts something. Yeah, man, it was so freaking good. Yeah. Okay. Legal stuff isn't very punk, says Codex. Yeah, true. Okay, shall we do... Okay, we're going to do another song after this. It, unfortunately, is one you have heard before and probably are sick of. Actually, the next two are Vehicle Select, and then after that is Sertraline. So yeah, sorry, it's going to be a real drag the next few minutes. But let me do another Pictionary first. Okay, let me randomize a film. No way. Why is that in this film? Okay, fine. Okay, you're not allowed to like draw numbers or letters, are you? That's considered cheating. Okay. Please, someone get this. Okay. I can't, honestly, I swear I didn't make this up. That's a human face. It couldn't be more obvious. A human with hair? Forget about it. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. That's not the proportions of a person. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Now I know what you're thinking, but wait for it. Okay. Okay, and now I just wait for someone to get that. And I hope someone gets that. Everyone's guessing Brink. It's not Brink, I'm sorry. I am going to need the full title. There it is, Nick Cowell, thank you very much. Johnny Capahala back on board. It's the sequel to Disney Channel original movie, Johnny Tsunami. Johnny Capahala back on board. I don't know why that's in this database of films. I guess it's just fate. But there you go. I know. Wow, what the heck, says Renegade TLA. I know. Imagine. The decor. Sandamol says, I was just re-listening to that one today. Trippy. What gives? What gives? Okay, I'm gonna play another song now, and it's mostly because I'm excited to get to the songs that you won't have heard yet. So, yeah, this next one is Vehicle Select. It was the B-side to the single Owls. This song probably took the least time to write and completely finish of everything. We can talk more about it after you've been forced to listen to it. Ready? Strap in, gang.
Short cross a whole continent from a satellite.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through all these eggs, folks. I was eating as many as I could, and I feel like I've barely made a dent. Look at that. But I'll keep trying. I won't give up. Mario Kart 64 vibes, says Coconut. Yeah, yeah, okay, so I was super trying very, very hard to nail a particular vibe in this one. I could see in my mind's eye like a PlayStation 2 era touring car sort of rotating like, you know, Gran Turismo style or something, and I really wanted to do that. Part of it was just I wanted to prove to myself that I could make that, because honestly, like, I listen to a lot of music like that while I'm working, especially if I'm writing or something. I'll like put on old racing game soundtracks, because, you know, they tend to have like such a smooth kind of jazzy vibe. So yeah, I just really wanted to Ridge Racer Type R for me, says Rob C. Thank you. Yeah. So I was. This one actually, having just said that I don't think it's all about music theory. This one I did start with music theory. I basically tried to put together a chord sequence or two chord sequences that were super, really quite like complex, musically complex, because that's the key to that sound. Really, is like a quite intricate jazz sound, awful lot of like sevenths and sixths, and I might be misremembering. I would have to check the MIDI data, but I feel like there's a lot of sus4 chords on that. I'm really into sus4 chords at the moment. They sound cool. Alex Edwards says, how did you get the beat to sound interesting without sounding overly repetitive, or is that just part of the production process? That's a super good question. So the main thing is, what I do is I program the drums. I program like a drum beat for the verse and a drum beat for the chorus, just like totally standard. I don't change anything, no fills or anything. And then afterwards, when everything else in the song is done, I go in and I put in like little bits and pieces. So whenever another instrument does a little flourish, like goes boo 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 doo 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 doo, I'll make the drums sort of mirror it, just to kind of give the impression of a band that's, you know, that's like in sync, that's you know, like tight and coordinated. Walt says, will the instrumental versions of the songs be released at some point? There's no reason I couldn't. I think I've got instrumental versions of all of them. You know what I might do is try and rather than like just instrumental versions, I might try and like slow them down and make, you know, kind of like a lo-fi edit, the vaporwave edit or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, honestly, it's hard. Like, drums is really difficult. The other thing is you kind of want them to sound a bit repetitive, because I'm using drum machines for all this stuff, and part of the fun of a drum machine is that it's kind of really steady, way more steady and on it and even. Like, the volume is even, the timing is flawless, much more so than a human playing the drums. So you don't want to get like too far away from that. You still want it to sound like, because, you know, I wanted this one to sound like video game music, so it couldn't sound very organic. Wester Wave, that's good, thank you. Wester Wave, I'm so pleased with that. Thanks, chat. Yeah, Draconis3 says, how do you get a drum solo on a drum machine? I program it in. It's really boring, but like it's literally like a grid of little blocks, and if I wanted to go like or something, I go like like that. It's, yeah, boring but fun, and it's great because you can sort of iterate on it over and over, you know, like being able to kind of like play a drum fill over and over again and be like, no. My drum fills always start out too busy. I'm always simplifying my drums. I always get self-conscious about like, oh, this beat's too simple or something. You know, like Lars Ulrich was doing in that Metallica documentary where he's like, it just sounds stock or something like that. I was like, okay, I can't, you know, it can't sound stock. It has to be like a clever, interesting, unique beat that's not like it's on not like one on any of the other songs and stuff. Yeah, and but actually in the end I always end up like taking stuff out, making it more simple. Yeah, the drums on that song, and actually I think all the instruments on that song have a bit crusher applied. Bit crusher is my new favourite processing thing to do to music. It's essentially crunching the audio down so you lose quality, which doesn't sound good, but depending on how much you crunch it, you can make it sound very, very much like it's coming out of an old games console, or like CRT TV or something. So yeah, it's a brilliant tool for vibes. After it was that song Vehicle Select was the first one I used a load of bit crush on, and then I went back to all the other songs and like bit crushed the F out of them. JH says, what audio interface do you use? Pro Tools. There we go. Space Dante says, are all these made by just you? Yes, all of them, everything, all me, the whole dang lot. Okay, I'm not going to do another Pictionary. I'm going to kick straight into the next song because it's sertraline, and like more of you will have sort of heard it before. But yeah, there we go. Can't think of anything to say. Oh, Adam says, on a scale of A to G, what's your favourite note? Huge. D. I love D. Phrasing, Luke. Yeah, no, I really, yeah, D major and its relative minor, B minor, like, if it, I will always sort of default to something being in D and switching to B minor. Don't clip that, says Space Dante. Yeah, don't, no one. Yeah, right, okay. Here's right. All of you, stop laughing at me. Listen to sertraline.
Right.
Okay, thank you for listening to that one. I really like it. It's my favourite one on the album. It's my favourite song I've ever done. I'm super proud of it. Like I said, it was the one that I finished first, and so I've spent like literally the best part of a year sort of whenever I walk around, I'll like listen back to it. I like to, obviously when I'm working on songs in here in this room, I will normally export a version of like where I'm up to and then listen to it out and about, just to sort of like, if you can wait an hour or a couple of hours before you hear it again, you can really hear like how it hits properly for the first time, and you immediately think like, that's not right, that sounds terrible, that's not, you know, that's all that is good, that stuff. And yeah, I've been listening to this song for like the best part of a year, just walking around, and yeah, every time I listen to it, I'm just like, this time I definitely crushed it, and I'm so pleased. It was a very, very hard one to do, because it had like 3 or 4 different iterations. I've tried for a very, very long time to make this a song. I recorded it completely on piano, like my, you know, big acoustic piano, as a sort of like ballad, and it sounded naff. And then I tried it again, like really fast and punky on guitar, and it sounded even worse. Then I gave up for ages. I think I even tried it like as a kind of like super kind of chill and quiet sort of Life is Strange-esque, slowed down. Yeah, but and eventually, yeah, I was listening to a Myron album, and I sent Myron a DM on Instagram and was like, can you tell me how you get that keyboard sound? And he basically put me onto a number of synthesizers that were you know, that he sort of used for like stacking kind of chords, and I got super into that. And basically like this whole album is built around one synthesizer, the Roland JD800, like sonically, but yeah, it like I finally found like a way to make it fit. I really wanted the chorus to be big and anthemic, and that's actually not something that I've ever done before. If you listen to any of the other songs that I've done, they tend to be weird and fast, and the words are all fast and kind of mixed up, and like they tend to have quite an odd structure. But this one is, you know, verse chorus, bridge, and then a chorus at the end, and there's like a little solo in the middle. Like it's quite conventional. And the chorus, I think the sort of moment where it all clicked was when I realised that there was nothing wrong with changing the tempo for the chorus. And it's weird because a lot of songs on this album actually, like Liliana has like the same BPM, it just goes to half speed for the chorus. So instead of like 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, it goes 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4, and then back to 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. But sertraline actually slows down when it gets to the chorus. The beats per minute actually like kind of chugs down. And yeah, key to the whole thing coming together was realizing that it was okay to have the chorus be like a BPM that fit that kind of like thing, and the verse, you know, kind of needing to feel a bit faster and more urgent. Yeah, okay. Let me answer some questions. Thank you all so much. That was really so lovely to to see the comments as that one played out. PCBX2 says, do you think McLaren should hold Piastri back due to Norris's loyalty to the team? No, ma'am. Let Piastri go. Let Oscar cook. It's gonna take everything to beat Max. Anyway, doesn't matter. What else about this song? Okay, so the thing, the reason I think that song is catchy, is I wish I had my piano or something, but like I've got nothing plugged in, and that would be a real faff, and it would slow everything down. But fine. The melody line that goes da 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 da, and then it so like that melody line sounds good because the chords under it keep changing, so it kind of keeps reharmonizing. And then I was very, very pleased with the da 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 bit, because like it's honestly just the same melody thing, like playing over and over again, but just kind of chromatically going down. And yeah, so I had that on piano for ages. I had a really, really bad first verse lyrically planned out. It started like how is it? It's like can't remember it. It was bad anyway. Why am I trying to bring up the bad lyrics? It's like it was gonna have a gag in it where it was like the whole point of the song is that like I was feeling at the time when I wrote it like I was all pent up with emotion. Like I felt like I had like loads of just feeling and emotion and music sort of like squished all up inside of me, but no time and no energy and no inspiration to say it, and really feeling like everything I was doing was boring and played and stuff. So yeah, the opening verse was originally a kind of riff on that, and there was a little joke where it was like, how it is, I felt good, I also felt nice, or something, and the music could kind of like falter and fall apart a bit, which is a trick that I've done a few times. And there's one on this album, there's one on Plant Nutrition Boy. But I don't know, it just sounded naff. It just didn't sound very good. And I went through my like big Google Doc of like lyrics and stuff, and I found all I can write these days is sad music. I thought it was because I was sad, but it's not sad music. Speaking music, I read some back. That was originally in my head like a completely different melody, but I was delighted to find that it actually fit the chord sequence for the chorus quite nicely. So that first verse and the whole rest of the song were basically written like at completely different times for complete different moods. Sometimes you have everything in a song apart from like a few lyrics, and then you just need to sort of go digging through the basement bin of your Google Docs and be like, what offcuts, what do we have here on the floor? Cragnificent says, do you record the vocals in sections or a single take? I record a single take, but I record a lot of single takes, and then I take my favourite individual phrasings from each one. So yeah, it's a real mishmash. I also do like quantizing, which is when you like correct the tempo afterwards so everything's on the beat. I do some pitch correction as well. Chris Priest says, can I get a shout out for my fiance Tash? That song broke her out of a year-long self-doubt writing drought, and she wrote a new song within a day of hearing it. That's amazing. Yeah, of course. Tash, congratulations. I would love to hear that song. That kicks ass. Volodel, here's a good one. Do you find yourself needing to simplify your songs to fit the vocals in? I find I end up making things too busy. Yes. So freaking often. I do the whole song. I always do the vocals last because it's my least favourite bit. I hate singing them. And like they take the most time to balance and fix and stuff, and everything, like all the instruments are way more fun to do. So I leave the vocals till last. And by then I find that I've like put in so many instruments that like it's just all too busy and I have to strip everything else back. So I get a little bit better at it, but yeah. Hatman says Billy Joel admitted that Scenes from an Italian Restaurant is a combination of 3 different songs he started writing and combined. That's amazing, but that song feels like super complete. Yeah, it's great. Oh, Callan H, do you find it takes much of a budget to make good music? What an important question. No, it doesn't take much of a budget to make good music. You can make good music. You can make good music with, you know, with like a ukulele or something. But that said, like this song, like to get it up to this production value, I'm not saying that this is like the upper ceiling of music production or anything, but to get it to this point, yeah, it's expensive. You can do it with free plugins and free software, but it's harder. It's not that software is harder to use, it's that fewer people are using it, so there's less documentation, there are fewer YouTube tutorials and stuff like that. So like it's not important, but you know, but I felt like I'd made a lot of songs where it was just an acoustic guitar or an acoustic piano, and I wanted to be a bit more ambitious. Not that ambitious isn't the right word, that's not fair, because it's not like it's unambitious to make an album with just ukulele, but you know what I mean. I wanted to try something new. I wanted to sort of prove to myself that I could make big sounds. Yeah. Michelle Dupler, getting to join a stream from the US. Congrats on the release. Thank you so much. Rebecca M says, because my wife dared me, any tips for someone going to their first punk gig? She wants to go to one but feels awkward. Oh boy. Well, what I would like, well, you know, just like get a drink in your hand. You never feel awkward with a drink in your hand, I find, and that's not me like promoting alcohol drinking or necessarily whatever. Like, you know, you get an orange juice or 0% or something, but like in terms of like occupying your hands, so you're not just kind of like stood there sort of feeling awkward. Like just having a drink in my hand is brilliant. Generally at a punk gig, there's loads of people that just sort of like just stand there and watch, holding a drink, just watching, just like, so just do that, or you know, or get down the front and have a dance. I've always found punk shows to be super welcoming and pretty chill, and if you see someone fall down, then pick them up. Okay. Right. I'm gonna do another Pictionary now. No one's heard of these films. Okay, alright, I can do this one. This is an easy one. This is an easy one for you, and then we're gonna do a new song that you won't have heard before unless you listen to the album today. Okay. Alright. Tell me, gang. What is this? That's all you're getting. No one's got it yet. Reese Brown, well done, that's right, and a lot of folks getting it. There we go, the chat's exploding. Now that I've drawn in the legs, it is of course Howl's Moving Castle. Wow! Folks, well done everyone. This isn't what Howl's Moving Castle looks like, but I don't know how to draw Howl's Moving Castle. But I do know how to draw a castle, and this one is... Oh, their legs, says Oliver Douglas. Obviously their legs. That's obvious, isn't it? Close enough, says Grilana. Yeah, he has Sonic the Hedgehog legs, says Reese. Okay, if they are Sonic legs, they'll be more pointy, like this. And aren't there like some circles or something on the side, or... No, what am I doing? That's nothing. This is nothing. That is Sonic's... Sonic has they're almost like clogs. Okay. I like that you gave it shoes, says Amelia. Well, I wasn't going to draw human feet. That's not what people are here for. I don't want my moving castle to end up on wiki feet or anything. It's, you know, it's fine how it is. Oh my god, imagine if Sonic actually wore wooden clogs, says Dreadwolf. Makes you... Oh, can you imagine the sound of Sonic in clogs, says Hobby Harry. Oh my gosh, can you imagine? Yeah. Okay. Next song. Oh no, but content warning. This next song is sad. It's not too sad, don't worry, it's not too bad. It's about an OCD panic attack I had when I bought some balloons for a kids party, but the balloons, they were kind of like light up balloons, and I thought that's fun, but then only after I'd bought them, I was told that you can't have things with little batteries in because it's not safe for little kids. Fine, but that I don't know why, that just gave me like a huge OCD freak out, inflated sense of responsibility and all the rest, that I was going to be responsible for something really like horrible. And yeah, it was a deeply stupid and bad sort of 25 minutes, but I did get a song out of it, so well done me. Tino says inflated, lol. Yeah, that's good. Voladel says OCD doesn't need a reason. No, it doesn't. Yeah, and honestly, it would have been fine. It would have, it would have been a perfectly fine party. Anyway, you know what? It doesn't matter. Here's the song. It's a weird one. Yeah, you'll get it. Oh man, Renegade TLA says, I hope you don't mind me reading this. I had an OCD freak out a few days ago about wasp spray being on me. It was not on me, but I had to have 3 showers and I cried ugly tears. I've never had that one in particular, but boy, that sounds so familiar. That kind of thing. Okay, anyway. Obsessive compulsive disorder sucks real bad. Here's a song about how it sucks. Here's a song about how it sucks so bad. Sorry if this one makes you sad. Yeah, just don't worry. We'll cheer things up afterwards. We'll play some Pictionary. But yeah, thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time and your consideration. Okay, here we go, folks.
Well, it was just a minor meltdown, barely 15 minutes, a new freak out record, and the first about balloons. They've got little batteries in them, so they light up and they'd be devastating in a baby's guts. So why did I bring them home? What am I stupid? Isn't that something that I should have known? Now these balloons, they can't go in the bin. Oh no, 'cause like I said, they've got little batteries in. They must be cut out and recycled, and a few extra steps that my brain just added, 'cause it's very sick. Like counting them slowly, not letting them touch fruit, bread, berries, Nestle Lakers and such, and having a panic attack sinking to the floor. Can I count them just once more? Can I count them just once more? Can I count them just once more? Can I count them?
Sorry. Yeah, man, what a bummer. Yeah, I can. This was quite an easy song to write, because I had the idea very clear in my mind, that, you know, the song should be two halves, and one should be like, you know, sort of like whimsy and chipper, and then the other half should just be like as you know, wide eyes as possible. And again, actually, like this was the I did this one after Sertraline. It was the second one that I did, and I did it because, again, I felt like with this synthesizer and with this kind of drum machiney sound, I was like, I finally got, you know, like I finally got like the right sort of sonic space to be you know, to be working like this. Because the thing about synthesizers is that it's so hard to make them sound like not really cheesy, and sometimes when they sound really cheesy, they sound at their best, but it's so easy for them to sound like not at their best. So it was quite fun to have, like, to sort of be free to be like, you know, and then to, you know, just sort of like try and go absolutely ham with the brass stabs and stuff. Yeah. The Scotch says, as an OCD haver, this is way too relatable. Most of the time I can live with it, but it's amazing the things that can suddenly crop up and set you off. That is true. Nick Howell says, the loud part is very much What If My Chemical Romance, but more 80s. Yeah, I think I actually quite enjoyed singing this one. It just, I don't know, I suppose it sat like bang in the middle of my range, or like the upper range. Space Dante says, would you mind if I played your album on my stream tomorrow night? Obviously all credit to you. Yeah, that's, I don't mind, Space Dante. That's fine, go for it. Again, there's a chance you'll get a copyright strike, which I unfortunately cannot control, which I know that sounds weird, but like that's just the way music distribution works. I'll probably get a copyright strike for this stream against myself, but yeah, so you might not be able to monetize it or something, I don't know, but I don't know. Yeah, you absolutely have my blessing. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine with me. Yeah, okay. That. Oh, I like the end. I like the end of that song. I like the way it kind of like warps and gets all like twisted up. I think there's some vocoder in this song as well. There's some vocoder on Sertraline. Yeah. Hobby Harry says Punk is making a song about OCD. Midlife is apologizing about it. Yeah, right. That's, you know, that's what I'm doing. Charlie says, so reassuring that other people's panic attacks are also triggered by such bizarrely specific things. Kind of comforting, to be honest. Yeah, right. Like, that's you know, that's how it goes, right? They're not rational. That's kind of the point. They just feel super rational at the time. Okay, the next song, I'm so pleased to say, is Plant Nutrition Boy concept album. I have been waiting so long to play this to a captive audience. I won't say anything else. Let me do one more Pictionary before we go. Okay. Easy. All right. Here we go. What's this? You should be able to get it from that, to be honest. Yeah, and if you haven't got it yet, have a word with yourself, you know. glad I've got no like egg time. Got my lid. I'm glad I've got like no egg timer or anything here. Okay, now the tricky bit. Yes, this is good. Come on, that's enough. You can get it from that. It's obvious. Genty and June! I think you're the first one to get it. Return of the King. It is obviously Lord of the Rings, Part 3, Return of the King. Needless to say, this is Gollum. On Frodo's back, you can see he's bitten off his finger. The best Gollum I've ever seen, says Moonjam. A lot of people are saying that. A lot of people are saying that's the best Gollum I've ever seen. Yeah, a lot of people are saying the definitive Gollum I'm reading here. Luke, you should be a professional Gollum artist. Luke Gray says, I thought he was peeing on him. Look, it's a very intense moment. For all we know, Gollum and Frodo are peeing in that moment. I would pee if Gollum jumped on me and bit my fingers off. I would certainly wet myself. And Gollum probably, you know, within reaching distance of the precious, you have to think that Gollum's wetting himself. And if you don't think Gollum's wetting himself in that moment, you're lying to yourself. Yeah, Samwise is also wetting himself at the point. Probably Aragorn's wetting himself. He's got to sort of fight the, you know, everyone else. Gecko in a suit says, help, I am in a coffee shop. Well, what's wrong with that? You're just dispassionately watching me inform you, as if you needed to be told, that Gollum and Frodo and Samwise are lavishly and freely wetting themselves at the end of that film. In Mount Doom, it's so sweaty, like everyone's losing fluids. You can't even tell. You can't even tell. Yeah. Yeah, who else? Gandalf's probably not wetting himself. Merry and Pippin, though. You watch the film back, you'll be like, I see why they've worn such dark trousers. Okay, right, I'm gonna stop talking about characters from Lord of the Rings urinating on themselves and turn to what actually is an equally stupid subject. This song, Plant Nutrition Boy concept album. I made this kind of, okay, I mean, what can I say? I didn't make this. I didn't write this song. I didn't write this song just to annoy Andy Farrant. That's just not true. I didn't make this song exclusively to annoy Andy Farrant. Was I picturing Andy's face, his disapproving face, at every moment over the many, many weeks that I worked on it? Yes. Yes. Yeah, I'm picturing it now, and it's making me laugh. Yeah, okay. Ah, man. Okay, here comes Plant Nutrition Boy concept album. Please enjoy it in the way that Andy won't. I'm sorry.
It's only been a week, but I really miss my baby. I'm spinning out in this house, I'm gonna lose it maybe. And I don't know if this is something to be telling him, but I'm one bad day from the Plant Nutrition Boy concept album. We a forest. We hear a running stream. A glockenspiel communicates that it's something like a dream. Piano tells the listener it's Luke behind the wheel, but a string quartet makes clear this one will be much more surreal. Then narration describes the fateful day. The day began like any other. A kid just like you tried to make his bullies pay. He lured them to the arboretum. Hey everyone, look at this impressive oak! But he didn't count on toxic waste falling from the ceiling. Fitful night! Agonizing screams! A stomach rewired with DNA from trees! The next day, as former bullies thirsty for revenge, they try to find him, but he runs and he hides in a hedge. Some hitch goes in his mouth, he rejects it. He feels the benefit, and it tastes amazing. Every one he eats tastes amazing. Neutrifying too, that's the insane thing. That's track one, there will be 50 more, describing plant nutrition boys' exciting lore, and how his mutant stomach, which can digest plants, helped him out of many situations. Details on this to be clarified at a later time. Then after an hour or two, track 16, the only track I truthfully can clearly see. PNB is broken, he's just so done. He flees back to the forest from the start of track one. The peace he finds out in the wood when he stops trying to do any good. He just tries not to do any more harm. He maybe helps his sister start a farm. Oh yeah, I should have mentioned he has a sister who always wanted to start a farm.
The law drop, says Riviera Kid. That's right. I ummed and ahed over whether or not to put as important a law drop for Plant Nutrition Boy as him having a sister who always wanted to start a farm in this song, and then I thought, just do it. Just do it. Morto says this is the most Andy-targeted song I've ever heard. And Avadosin Dulap 2 says someone has to stop Luke. Okay. The musical inspiration for this song was how good Plant Nutrition Boy is and how what a cool hero he is. It was War of the Worlds album. I love the War of the Worlds album. I love it. I unironically just adore it. That sort of, yeah, that's what I wanted to go for. I saw some much more flattering comparisons in the chat. Thank you very much, Tommy Era the Who. That's very flattering. But yeah, just the way that, oh my god. And I also like, I don't listen to a lot of prog, but I should, because whenever I do listen to prog, I just absolutely love it. Close to the Edge by Yes, that's in, I've always got that in a playlist. It's 18 minutes long, and it just like the song just changes all the time, just constantly, like it never stops changing. And yeah, this song was it was probably like mechanically the hardest one to put together, especially getting those like the string quartet sounds was, ooh, that was challenging. Ben Jones says, which guitar do you use on that one? The tone is lovely. Thank you very much. Yeah, it was all that Gretsch Electromatic. All of it. Everything on the album. I only use that one. Yeah, so yeah, it's Idanak says, you are still friends with Andy after this? I don't know, that's up to Andy. That's up to Andy, to be honest. I've extended the olive branch. No, wait. I meant to extend it. But in any case, the ball's in Andy's court. We'll have to, you know, we'll have to see. I think after this, we'll need to go on a retreat or something. Tino says, Andy's been awfully quiet since it dropped a minute ago. Ash says, how many times have you made Andy listen to this song and what was his reaction? I haven't made him listen to it at all. I want to send it. I think I'm just going to send it to him. It's just... Okay, this song was really, really hard to put together. Genuinely really challenging. The only thing that sustained me through it was the cast iron certainty that the gag of a Plant Nutrition Boy album was very funny to me, and it stayed funny to me all the way through. And actually, like the end of that song, the final bit, I think those are definitely the best harmonies on this whole album. I was very, very proud of how serious it sounds at the end there. Oh man, and oh boy, just like balancing the volumes of everything, as you can imagine, all in one song. Like mastering it was just a freaking nightmare, an absolute nightmare. The next song is Liliana, which you've heard before. Call him right now, says Amanda. Send it to him. Mike's Portugal says, Andy deserves everything after the jumping ship torture. Yeah, that's true. Andy does deserve that. That was pretty harsh. Okay. Yeah, Puff Puff Addy. You know how Andy kept sending you that weird reggae music pretending it was other stuff? I'm not saying you shouldn't return the favour. You're right. That's what I should do. How many... Mel says, how many syllables in Liliana? I need to prove my partner wrong. Liliana. 4, right? Liliana. Yeah, 4. It's got to be 4. Right? It's got to be 4. Okay. Let's do one more, we do one more Pictionary. Okay, brilliant. This is good. This is a good drawing. And it doesn't look like he's peeing on him. Doesn't look like that. Doesn't look like that. Okay, alright. What's this then? I'm gonna see how little I can do. What film is this? You can do it. Who will be the first? Jaws? It's obviously not Jaws. Everyone's guessing. Why is everyone guessing Jaws? Stop the clock! We have a winner, Sir Flopsy. It is, of course, Waterworld. I was going to try and draw a Kevin Costner. I can still try. He's got a he's got a long nose, isn't he? Long, handsome nose. A frowning, disapproving face. He's got sort of long hair in this one, hasn't he? Not that long, but I've done it now. This isn't going too bad though. He's got gills. That's important. Oh no, he looks like a tiger. I made him look like a tiger by accident. And you know, he's got like muscles. I just sort of imply a six-pack there. I'll just draw a big muscular arms. And he's on a jet ski. He's on a jet ski. Here's one leg, and here's the jet ski. Here's the handlebars. Here's the front of the jet ski. Here's the water spraying. I present to you Liliana. Ta-da! There we go. End of song. Yeah, pretty fun one. I'll be honest. This was a pretty late addition to the album. When I was all used up of all my musical ideas and I couldn't think of any other songs to do, and I was quite sick of looking at Pro Tools after months and months and months. Yeah, I was like, maybe is there something I can do from? Is there anything I've? And then I remembered I did a song in Oxventure about Liliana, and I was like, there you go, sorted, bam. Oh man, Puddle Duck says, were you very nervous performing Liliana on stage at Comic-Con? Like you wouldn't believe. I have not. Yeah, like you wouldn't believe. I was absolutely terrified. It was. Oh yeah, I was terrified. I thought that I would get to do that song in a not live Oxventure, but it just so happened. Johnny was like, "Yeah, we're doing the Katie Pearlhead wedding," and I was like, "Okay. Do you remember I mentioned I might do a song for that?" And they were like, "Yeah." And we were like, "Oh yeah." Yeah, Johnny heard it first. Matthew Seaward says, "Did Johnny know that was coming?" Yeah, they knew, but they didn't. They didn't. I don't think they were familiar with the content. Yeah. Interesting thing about this song, when I originally wrote it, I had in mind a kind of sort of like 1960s, kind of like old school rock and roll, like kind of like bop bop You know, like a Earth Angel kind of, you know all the music when they're in Back to the Future when they're in the 50s. You know, kind of almost like sort of barbershop-y, yeah, like gentle rock, yeah, Motown kind of thing. And so when I started putting this one together, it had a it was in swing. It was in swing time. It was like and the drum and the guitar was going like like that. You know, kind of swinging like it sort of does right at the very beginning of the song. It was doing that all the way through, but it wasn't really sounding very good. I don't know, so I decided to just sort of like instead, it wasn't sounding like I was picturing, which was, you know, like a sort of 80s power ballad, like big rock and roll stadium energy. So yeah, instead I just like changed the time so it was just completely straight, and it just kind of chugs like dun 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 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 Liliana. You know, just like remove all swing, just sort of straight driving kind of rhythm. And I think that was a good choice, although yeah, it took me a while to kind of get used to and settle into, but yeah, yeah, I love it. I obviously I wrote it ages ago. Obviously I wrote it on the ukulele. I was always pleased with this song. I always thought it was just very catchy and simple. Yeah, so it was really, really satisfying, and actually like this one came together quite quickly because I'd already written it, and it was great, and I really enjoyed putting the little like guitar flourishes on, the bit where it goes like yeah, I'm not really one for guitar solos, nothing very technical, so that is literally just me going like on one string as fast as I can. Yeah, that's all there is to this one. The next song is called I Try to Be Good and I Try to Be Services. I try and do songs like this every now and again. If you listened to the album I did called Basically Afloat, there was a song on that called Hustle, which was basically sort of angry, quite incoherent. I think you could barely hear the words. And this is the same kind of energy, to be honest. I wanted to make a song where the first time you listen to it, you can hear some of the words, maybe like 30% of the words, but then on repeat listens, you can get it, and it sort of like would slowly reveal itself, but it would generally just be a pretty sort of like consistently unhinged sound. It's a pretty unhinged song. But I really like it. I really like I'm very, very happy with the opening 20 seconds of this one, especially. So yeah, I hope you like it. Should we do what time is it? How many have we got left? I'm just gonna play it. We'll do some more Pictionary afterwards. Yeah, I'm excited for everyone to hear this one. Yeah. I try to be good and I try to be services. Let's go!
I try to be good.
Ta-da! There you go. It was brief, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I like that one. I think, yeah, I like that one. I like it was kind of unhinged. Song to throw a TV out of a hotel window to, says Penguin Gone Mad. Yeah. I was really pleased with the guitar on that one. Boss battle vibes, everyone's saying. Yeah, I hadn't really thought of that. I think I was, I think I knew I had like a... From the beginning, like I knew I wanted the beginning to kind of have a bit of a like Megalovania feel. And Megalovania actually is boss battle music, isn't it? You kind of forget because it's just like Sans' theme, but it is actually boss music. Yeah, the lyrics are basically inaudible, but I'm happy to tell you what they are. How does it go? It goes, I try to be good, and I try to be services. I try to be valuable, trading resources. I want to be leveraged like any good asset, but I can't do a thing in this state, it's so tragic. For the free market, for the yield, for the complimentary meals. I can't sleep, but I've got melatonin for that. I've got clarithromycin the walls, because the tonsillitis came back. Sucking warm tap water straight from the tap. I want to have everything the second I want it. I want a second course of these antibiotics. I want to feel better. I want to get back to work, because it makes up an unhealthy percentage of my self-worth. There you go. So you can... That's it. That's the whole song. So there you go. Puzzle box smashed on floor. Yeah, Nikki Pickle says, yeah, there's no way I heard those words. Yeah. Clarithromycin the walls, I was particularly pleased with. Yeah, so I get like recurring tonsillitis. I get it all the time. I'm just like incredibly prone to tonsillitis. It hurts so bad and it really sucks. I have to go on antibiotics like all the time. And yeah, I just wanted this song to kind of capture that angsty, itchy feeling when, you know, like when you're really ill and it's totally all-consuming. And that sucks, but it's kind of like, whatever. But then you're no longer so sick, but you're not well enough to do anything yet. And you're just kind of like pacing around the house, just sort of impatient and feeling like kind of okay, but also kind of crappy. That was the, that horrible feeling. And when I'm just like, you know, with like I'm taking my antibiotics, and I'm taking the paracetamol and the ibuprofen, and I'm taking my antidepressant, and taking a multivitamin, and it just sometimes it just feels like all I do is just kind of like stand by the kitchen tap, just like sort of eating various pills. That's the end of a stomach bug vibes, says Left Hand Off. That's what I was going for. And is that a good thing? Is that a good thing to make a song about? I don't know. Anyway, that's what I was going for. Yeah. Yes, everyone in the chat who's saying I should get a tonsillectomy. I really should. I'm kind of like trying to counter, you know, to get it on the NHS. This is really boring. To get it on the NHS, you have to like hit a certain threshold, like within a certain time. So whenever I get tonsillitis, the plus side is I'm like, yeah, tick, yeah, got another one. Get my little combo up. Might qualify for. Anyway, Nikki says, "Did you know your tonsils can grow back? The hell they can. The hell they can. I'm gonna nuke them so hard. There's just two little craters in the back of my throat. That'd be ideal." Anyway, that's that song. The next song, believe it or not, I don't think that's the weirdest song on this album. I think the next song is the weirdest one. It's called First Meeting with the Princess. It's instrumental, so there's no singing on it. You know what instrumental means. Why did I say that? patronising. It's an instrumental song. I made it using a really cool plugin called, I don't want to get the name of it wrong. Let me look it up. ChipSynth SFC, which is a fantastic synthesizer that describes itself as a bit accurate Super Nintendo Entertainment System, i.e. SNES. Yeah, like sound generator, basically. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's an absolutely amazing bit of kit. In fact, if you have, I didn't do this for this one, but if you have like SNES, SNES music files, like the actual like, I can't remember what it is, like .sfc or something. If you have like SNES music files, you can like drop it into this software, and it will isolate all the different bits, so you can see exactly like how everything's programmed and all the sounds. Yeah, it's brilliant. I wanted to make a song with it. I was listening to a lot of Final Fantasy music, and I was listening to like analysis of why Final Fantasy music is good. And the answer is like ninth chords. So yeah, I wanted to like put something together that kind of had 16-bit RPG vibes. And then I found that using this, I could basically sort of also generate, like, make my own like menu and text sound effects. So what this instrumental is, it's like a nice sort of chord sequence. It's I think like some nice backing music, but then I kind of imagined a cutscene playing out. That's why it's called First Meeting with the Princess, because in my mind there's two of you and you're meeting the princess and you're having like a back and forth conversation. I don't know, but I really like the idea, and I hope that when you listen to it, you have a little cutscene playing out in your mind as well. Yeah. Tell me what that looks like. Thunder B247 says, would love to know if there was a specific story in mind for the menu and text and stuff. Yeah, I totally did. I actually had it all, yeah, like planned and written out. I'll play it, and then we'll talk about it. Hopefully it'll make sense. Okay, everybody, get ready to pretend and use your imagination. Sorry to ask this of you. Here we go. yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? I think it's fun though. I'm glad that folks seem to be enjoying that more than I thought they would, to be honest. Looking at the chat, yeah, I'm glad you liked that. Yeah, to be honest, it was okay. So the question was like, what did I have in mind? And I can tell you, but I'm a bit wary of telling you, maybe because like maybe what you were imagining was better, was cooler. I did need to get the like that to make it sound authentic. I actually wrote stuff out, so that I would put in the right number of dots. So you know, while that was playing, I found my old Google Doc for it. I won't do the whole thing, but I'll read the beginning, and it starts like, greetings, hero. So greetings is what, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus the apostrophe, 10. So it's 10 beeps like in like very quick succession, and then a pause, and then hero is 4 plus the full stop is 5, like that, because you have to sort of bleep in the full stops as well. In my mind, this scene was a sort of top down, it's like Link to the Past graphics, and it's it's you're the hero, and you and your friend arrive in the princess's room, and she's explaining to you, she's doing the exposition near the start of the game of like what's wrong with the land, and there's a noise in it where it goes like that, and in my mind I was trying to get the sound of like her opening a window to reveal like hellfire and chaos and you know, like a kind of portal, like, look, this is the portal behind which Ganon lives or something, I don't know. Yeah, and you're a silent protagonist, and you can sort of hear occasionally, you can hear like dook 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 a bit lower. In my mind, that was a dot 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 of your character not saying anything, like not replying. And again, like I don't want to make my like placeholder writing sound like very important or anything, because I honestly just needed some words that like were fantasy words, so that I knew that the kind of rhythm of the stuff would kind of sound right. Yeah. So it says the princess says, "Greetings, hero. I'm the princess who rules this land." And then the person the guy you're with says, "Your Highness, it's an honor." And you can like pitch the. It's honestly, it's just like a different note going and stuff, just to sort of imply different people. Then the princess says, "Forgive me, I've not met your traveling companion?" Question mark. Come on, Luke, tell her how we're best friends. And then there's like two little notes really quickly, which kind of imply like an emoticon. You know, like when like someone is cross in those games, it'll be like, or like, you know, like that. They'll just be like a little sound effect. Oh, fine, be like that. You are a man of few words, although your chosen profession would suggest otherwise. Tell me, does it bring you satisfaction, all this posturing? People seem impressed, but are you impressing yourself? And I think at that point I was like, okay, Luke, these lyrics are obviously not really lyrics and are never going to be heard, are getting a little bit dark and introspective. So maybe you should have had the princess yelling about Bale from Shadow of the Erdtree, says Waltz. Yeah. Anyway, I really was quite taken with this idea. I would listen to more music like this, and again, it would be cool if, I don't know, I would listen to someone else's music that was basically this idea, like a the sound to a non-existent cutscene, and you just can sort of like imagine for yourself what's going on. Anyway, we need it animated, says Snap. I can picture it exactly. We need a name for the genre, says Intinus. Yeah. Oh, Chris Priest says, are you influenced by musical theatre in your writing? Yes, absolutely. Specifically, let's see. Yeah, no. I love musical theatre. Specifically, musical theatre does an awful lot with sort of chromatic steps. That sounds very vague. But you know, like unexpected chromatic movements, like da 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 da, or something, you know. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Like, what are you talking about? I don't know, but I really like to hold a note and then unexpectedly go like, you know, just sort of like, you know, just like screw it at the end chromatically. So yeah, but that's very much a musical theatre thing. Exposition course, says Hatman, for the thing. Turbinator UK. There was a musician a few years ago who created an album, Ebb and Flow, for a soundtrack to a game that doesn't exist. That's cool. That's cool. Cutscene course, says Snap. Yeah. Yeah, anyway, I am desperate, as you probably know, like desperate to do the music for a video game. It's a huge aspiration of mine and a huge ambition, and there's some stuff there's nothing coming out. I have nothing in the works, but I've not made zero progress. What I will say is that, like, turns out, who knew? Game development is quite complicated, and sometimes, you know, you can get like attached to stuff and it doesn't work out. But you know, I've been trying my best to, you know, like sort of make some moves and stuff, and it's, yeah, not zero progress. Let's go, says Tino. Yeah. Charlie says, what style of video game would you want to make music for? Anything. That's the whole point. That's why it's fun. That's why I like it, because it's like, this is the genre, this is the vibe. Now figure out, you know, figure that out. Figure out how that sounds. Yeah. I think it'll happen. I just I'm not currently 100% sure how, but sorry, there's a little fly on my desk. Sorry, buddy, get out of here. There you go. Anyway, but yeah. On the plus side, if I was, you know, making music for a video game, there is 100% no chance I would have had time to do this album. Yeah, I'm not trying to be secretive or anything. This is literally stuff that you're not allowed to talk about. So there you go. But it's super fun. I love it. Okay, let's do another Pictionary and then we'll play the next song. The next song is called Devs Nerf the Elizabeth line. It's a song about how the Elizabeth line in London is too good. You'll see. Okay. What's my next film? Oh god. No, I'm refreshing, I can't do that one. Okay. What is the Elizabeth line, says Tino. The Elizabeth line is a recently opened metro line through London. It's very fast, it's air conditioned, it's very modern. Yeah, it's great. But I used to do all of my lyric writing a bit drunk, coming home on the tube. And something about like the tube being hot and uncomfortable, and probably being like a little buzzed, and just, you know, just like the sort of press of other people. I don't know, it just like you used to get the creative juices flowing for some reason. I wrote all my lyrics there, but the Elizabeth line is too fast and comfortable, so I can't write anything anymore. Okay. Right, here we go. No. Sorry. It just, like, auto-refreshed, and it went to... Oh, okay. Here we go. What's this? This is the... Okay, here we go. Right, and now I sit back and wait for someone to get it. Someone will have got it by now. Symbol Monkey? No, it's obviously not Symbols. Toy Story 3? No. Danny McNamara, you win, or at least you're the first one I spotted, with the correct answer, Return to Oz. That film has... Doesn't that film have monkeys on wheels? I sure hope so, or else I've imagined them. Yeah. Yeah. Return to Oz. Yeah, it's got like... They're scary. Amanda says ... Laurie says... It has men on wheels. Says Arandamel. What? Aren't they monkeys? Oh, they're not monkeys. Why did I think they were monkeys? Is it because I'm thinking of the winged monkey? I'm confusing the winged monkeys from Wizard of Oz. Confusing the flying monkeys with the wheeled monkeys. Hang on. Let me have a look. Okay, well, in that case, Danny McNamara, you did a very, very good job guessing that. Wheelers Return to Oz. Yeah, no, they are just people. They're just people on wheels. It's pretty much the worst thing that anyone's ever done in a film. It's so frightening. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Sorry that I just drew those people. He looks like a people, says Roxidia. Yeah, Anna Droz says still, someone has guessed it, so it's not bad. It's provably good Pictionary. Okay, so less of your sass, chat. Okay, the next song is Dev's Nerf the Elizabeth line. It's the penultimate song, there's only one after this. Yeah, here we go. I like this one. It stop talking about it, Luke. Just play it. Like David Lynch used to say, the movie is the talking. Alright, here we go. Bang.
I've given myself until the train pulls in to write the last song on this album thing. And in the past, you know, that was just enough time. But that was before the Elizabeth line. Air-conditioned, fast as you like, and your phone always has signal. I don't know how that works. Right across London like a big crossing out, and I blame it exclusively for my creative drought, 'cause I could write songs about
Ta-da! What the hell was that about? Oh man. Okay, yeah, this is the last song I wrote for the album, and again, it was like I did Liliana just before this one, and I think that's probably why they're kind of like sonically kind of a piece. But it was just it was just like I need one. I don't feel like it's an album unless it has 11 songs. 10 doesn't feel like enough. It has to be 11. I just made a rule for myself that it had to be 11. So I was just like, I just need one more song. And then luckily I thought of, what if I did a song? Oh, I can't do any songs. And I did actually, to be fair, write it on the Elizabeth line. So I guess the Elizabeth line's not that bad. But then I got really in my head about it. So I was like, oh man, the Elizabeth line, it's so like, it's named after Queen Elizabeth. It's like, I don't want this to sound like accidentally sort of overly patriotic or anything like that. Anyway, but yeah, quite a few people saying that it reminds them of Sonic Adventure. That wasn't a conscious borrow, but it could well be an unconscious one. What are your thoughts on the Victoria line, says Ziggy? Awful line. Hate being on it, but it's perfect for being creative. Also, I was sinfully proud of 1, 2, 3, 4 years late to open the whole route. £4 billion over budget to boot. Yeah, yeah, I was very pleased with that. Pleased with myself for that one. Yeah, and I kind of like this line. I enjoyed putting the solo together for this one as well, because it's got that kind of like, there's two guitar lines and they sort of call and response a little bit, sort of intertwine, which I enjoyed. Voladel says, I think people malign the Northern line unfairly. Interesting. I think it's maligned fairly, but then who knows? Queen Ambrosia says, unearned like Spike before the final song. Yeah, sure, definitely. Yeah. Give me likes. Give me likes for no reason. Do it now. Do it now, or I'll fight everyone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. It was a fun song though. I think I don't know. Oh, you know what? What we were talking about earlier, the musical theatre thing. That's actually a reasonable example. The normal. Like, there you go. Like, they're kind of just sort of chromatically nudging it up in a way that you maybe don't necessarily see coming from the from the, it kind of feels a bit left field from the chords that you're working in. Yeah, that's what I mean when I talk about like that chromatic thing. I feel like it's in a big thing in musical theatre. Yeah, and there are some punk bands that do that as well, like a lot. NoFX especially, like NoFX are absolute mad lads for just occasionally being like or something, it's nice. It's a technique I like and I do it a lot. Okay, there's only one song left, folks, so let's do another Pictionary. Oh my god, this is suggesting loads of decoms? The Other Me. I'm not doing The Other Me. I've never heard of that one. Okay. This one's going to be a bit more conceptual. Okay. Egg. Oh, everyone's asking for the egg situation update. I'm going and going and going, but I'm slowing down. Still got, look, still got a shameful amount of eggs. Right, I'll put some eggs in my mouth while I draw this picture. This will be good audio. This is good content, right? Watching a man eat chocolate eggs while he draws. Oh, I nearly said it then. That would have been bad. Oh. 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 Not with them. I've not left myself enough room. There you go. What's that? No, it's not The Shining. It's obviously not The Shining. Kixie Wixie! I think you may have been the first one to get it there. It is obviously The Parent Trap. It's obvious. Look, there's the twins. There's two Lindsay Lohans. And the parents are trapped. The Shining, honestly. If it was The Shining... No, you know what? I'm not going to try and turn this drawing into The Shining. Why are they balding, says Luke. They're not. They're not. They're not. They have full heads of lustrous hair. Look. It's lustrous. See? Anna Drost says, Shining was before you drew Parents. I still think it was very obvious. I was going to try and draw, you know, whenever I think of like trap, my mind always goes to that thing where you've got like a cardboard box held up by a stick and a string going to, there you go. But people would probably think it was a kite or something. Anyway, there you go. The Parent Trap. Snap says, oh, the parents are trapped. Yes! Yes, very obviously. That's very obvious. This is very high level Pictionary, and if you're not guessing it, think on your sins, frankly. Okay. Right. Folks, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do here. I don't know if I should like play the last song and then like go straight to the end, or if we want to talk about the last one. I suppose we should probably talk about the last one, shouldn't we? Okay, this is the last song. It's called White Noise. This is a song. This is a few different songs bodged together. Most of it is a song that I wrote when I was like, I want to say like 20 or something. It's like proper sort of vintage from the archives nonsense, tidied up a bit. Hopefully it doesn't sound too adolescent. But yeah, it is like a few different songs, and obviously kind of given that sort of like synthy treatment. Shredder Cheese says, Luke, I really want a rig rundown. There is no rig. You're looking at the rig. I've got this little MIDI keyboard, which is a MPK Mini Plus. I use Pro Tools. My guitar is a Gretsch Electromatic. And then I use the synthesizer as a Roland JD800 Virtual VST. And some of the drums are Lin drums, and some are just a sort of like from a like sort of I changed these. I got these like free I don't know. They came with the sequencer, which was Groove Cell. I don't know. It honestly, like, there's not much of a rig. I want to know what racing wheel you use, says Gecko in a suit. This one. It's the Thrustmaster GT. Circles. I don't know. It's a Gran Turismo. What Mike gave it to me. Yeah. Maddie SL says, but Luke, where can people get their hands on that sweet, sweet merch? Why? You can go to... Where can you actually? Is it like tmill.com? No, that's not right. This is good, isn't it? I must have put it in the description of the live stream, didn't I? Where you can get merch. Yeah, you can buy merch. Go buy an Owls t-shirt if you want, or you can get a t-shirt that has the album art on it. No, I didn't put a link. I didn't put a link in the description. God damn it. Well, that's because I thought it was obvious that you should go to... Okay, it's definitely got T-Mill in it. It's like tmill.lukewestaway or lukewestaway.tmill. Go to lukewestaway.tmill.com. Here's a link. I'll pin it in the chat. There we go. Alex Gray says, are we going to get merch of the Sertraline video? I absolutely love the Vaporwave aesthetic. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, maybe. But I also really love that video, and I'm super proud of it. Okay. We'll see. Anyway, there you go. You can buy the album art on a t-shirt or a tote bag. You can get the Owls t-shirt I'm wearing. Don't underestimate them. They are the wolves of the woods. You can even buy the album art in a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle, which I think would be just an awful, awful way to spend an evening, because there are huge swathes of the puzzle that are just like piano keys. Can you imagine trying to put that together? It would be a nightmare. And I don't think anyone should do it. There are huge bits of the puzzle where it's just like black. Just, yeah. It's going to be a very, very hard, very unpleasant puzzle. So don't buy it, don't do it. Would be my advice. Just say no. Look at it, think about doing it, and then just bypass it. Just be like, actually, I don't need to punish myself like this, so I won't buy it. That's reverse psychology. Now you will buy it. I've played you like a damn fiddle. But yeah, I've got the Owls tee is in like loads of different styles. T-Mill is really good for like different fits and stuff. I got it. Obviously, I'm wearing the short sleeve one. This is the long line. But there you go. Okay. Nicky Anteloni says, Luke won't tell you where to buy his merch, but he will tell you to not buy it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yes, where was I? Oh yeah, the very last song. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna play the last song and then we can talk about it a little bit. I won't say goodbye just yet. I'll say goodbye afterwards. Alright, last song on the album. Thanks so much for sticking with me, folks. I super appreciate you all. Here we go. Have some of this song.
Inside my head, a sign music's gone. Look at what went wrong. Find someone to blame. Just the same. And I just feel so old. Like I wasted my time. Like I was a has-been at 18. Like I just ran out of time. White noise trickles down my spine. A symphonic high whine. It sometimes feels like sleep. Today it feels like engines, precision, grunting force, optimized of course, embedded, tagged and shared. You'll find you care a lot more than you thought, a lot more than you were told. It doesn't hurt that much, it never hurts that much. Underline the date, underline the line, and underline sense that I'm denying time. Underline the date, and underline the line, and underlying sense that I'm denying time. Underline the date, and underline the line, and underlying sense that I'm denying time. Underline the date, and underline the line, and underlying
Hey, there we go. Very last song. Very last song. On the album, and if you watched this whole live stream from the beginning, now you've heard all of it. Yeah, that last one was a fun one to make. Mel says, how did you choose the order for the album? Well, I suppose you kind of want it to. You don't want to like. It's a mix of trying to make it sort of flow thematically and like mood-wise, but also not putting like all of your fast songs together and all of your slow songs together. I thought Owls is like a real sort of like. I was about to say barnstormer. Lol. Yeah, I thought Owls has a strong like punchy first few seconds, so that was an obvious choice for number one. Then I like All Downhill From Here for number two because it kind of sets up the some of the themes of the album, and you know it's kind of what the album refers to, songs to make songs to. It's an album about making songs and about me trying to make songs and about what that's like and about when that's hard and when that's fun and when that's sad. Vehicle select, I don't know, that just felt like a kind of, I think vehicle select is very good, so I wanted to, put your strong, simple songs up top. All the weird ones are kind of buried at the bottom of the running order. Yeah. Sertraline had to be number 4 because I think this is like a real 90s throwback, but in my mind the number 4 spot on an album is like where you put your best song. So that's why that's number 4. And then yeah, everything's kind of like working around from that. The OCD Battery Meltdown one felt like a good fit to go after that. Plant Nutrition Boy, I kind of liked how much of a, you know, they're both songs that sort of change a lot as they go along, but one is quite sad and dark, and one's really stupid and fun. So I thought that was a nice way of sort of moving you into Liliana and Try to Be Good, which are, you know, like kind of two fast ones. Then I couldn't think of anywhere better for a song that First Meeting with the Princess to go. Elizabeth line felt like it needed to go near the end because it's about trying to write the last song on the album. I was going to put it last, but White Noise just felt to me... I think I wrote White Noise third? Yeah, it was the third song I did, but it felt, from the beginning, it felt like a last song on the album. Yeah, and I really enjoyed making that. A huge breakthrough when I was doing that song, and I actually ended up using this a lot on other songs as well. I think Liliana in particular. So this is definitely something I picked up making this album. Was at the beginning of the bar, you kind of hit with your chord, and then have the chord play somewhere else on the 3 beat. So in White Noise, it's going like boom ba like that. So there's the kind of synth that's like boom, and then on the guitar it goes ba. You know, it's the same chord, but like just played in two different places. Kind of, there's something quite nice. If you listen to Liliana, you think you can hear it happening like in the synths. It's like that, same chords, kind of broken up. Yeah, thank you so much everyone for joining. I'll be honest, way more people came to this live stream than I was thinking would. So I'm so flattered, and yeah, it's been really nice. Were there songs that didn't make it to the track list, says Tino? Yes, there was one song I did that sounded really good, but whenever I tried to sing over the top of it, it sounded like garbage. And I thought about putting it on the album as another instrumental one. But one instrumental one felt right. And also it was quite like sort of pacey. It was a lot like, it was kind of a lot like I tried to be good and I tried to be services. So, I don't know. It felt like it was covering existing ground. Oh, this is Brandon Gallipo. My ADHD was going a bit nuts today. Sorry to hear it. And I really struggled to stay for the whole stream, but I'm glad I did. The album is killer. Thanks for the hard work. Ah, that is so kind. That's lovely. Release it, you coward, says Edward Ling. I'll keep it for something. I'll use it for something else probably. Yeah, it'll probably be like years before I do something like this again. I have different musical aspirations in my in my immediate future. But yeah, just every few years, it's an itch that needs to be scratched. And it feels so good. I can't tell you how good it feels, like after months and months and months of like staring angrily at Pro Tools, to be doing this, and for it to all be done, and for it to all have been heard. And now it's just out, on the airwaves, and it's and I've released it. Nice. Okay. So. Like pulling a tooth, says Mephi to go. Yeah, man, it does feel a bit like that. And also, like, if you follow me on Instagram, the self-promotion feels like a bit of a grind, to be honest. Like, I sort of have. I'm fully committed to like as much self-promotion as possible. I think I'm going to film like a little, like a little ad for the album, and I'll put like. A modest. I'll try try and, you know, I'll get that on Instagram as like a kind of sponsored thing, just because it feels like you should. But yeah, man, if you follow me on Instagram and it's been a bit like relentless, all of the music stuff, then yeah, I get it. But yeah, it'll tail off now for a bit. Yeah. Oh, okay. Boy, I'm so ready to go to bed now. Ready to go to sleep. Okay, gang. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for all your wonderful comments, wonderful feedback. You can never quite predict how something like this is going to hit, and yeah, it's just been lovely seeing the comments. Some like loads and loads of reactions and comparisons I 100% wasn't expecting and didn't think of, but are very flattering and very interesting. So yeah, that's all from me. Should we do should we do one more Pictionary just before we sign off? Oh my god, why is this thing suggesting so many decoms? I'm not doing any decoms. That's too easy. Little Mermaid is too easy. Okay. Alright, what's this then? Where'd I put my pen? Oh crap, I've lost my... Oh no, here it is. Okay. What's this then? Should get this quickly, really. Oops. Okay. Someone's already got it. Amazing. I'll keep going though. There we go. That's right. It is Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. It is, of course. It's of course a good drawing of Frodo and Sam and Gollum. I think the first person to get it was the first one I saw was PCBX2, who said The Two Towers. That was very impressive. A few people said Lord of the Rings, but yeah, I don't think I saw... Is Gollum on a leash, says Rebecca M. Yes! That happens in the film. And that really happens, not like the monkeys on wheels. That really happens. That really happens. Remember they put him on a leash? I probably could have thought of a more iconic bit from... Oh, well here you go, look. What about this? Shelob. Thank you so much. I honestly, thank you. I can't begin to express my gratitude to you all. If you watch this and if you gave, yeah, thank you for listening to my music. I am so pleased to see a lot of you enjoying it. It's awesome. Egg check. Alright, everyone wants the egg check. Okay, let's check in on how many eggs I have. Oh, I've finished them. I've finished them all. Let me show you the bowl. Ta-da! Yeah, I ate them all when that last song was on. Yeah, just sort of powered through all the eggs. It wasn't easy, but you know, nothing. Suspicious clinking. No. No. Well done, Luke, says Mike's Portugal. Chibumba says, sus. What were those egg moving sounds, says Mitar86. Nothing. This interview is over. Thanks so much, everyone. Goodbye. Please enjoy this chilled out lo-fi slowed down version of Instrumental Vehicle Select on the outro screen. Vibe for a few minutes if you like. Thanks so much, gang. Take it easy. See you next time. Oh, by the way, please join my Patreon, patreon.com/normaladultluke. Then you get a live stream from me every week, and it's not normally me drawing a urinating golem. Sometimes it is. More often than I'd like, it is. But yeah, I play video games. I'm doing one on Saturday of that game, Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Yeah, I do whole playthroughs. I play games that are fun stuff. Yeah. Pin the Patreon link, please, says Charlie. Of course. Patreon. It's Patreon. You know what? I don't want to unpin the merch one, but yeah, it's patreon.com/normal adult Luke. Okay, folks, take it easy, gang. Now to get rid of these eggs.